Welcome to the Dynasty Dugout Show, a podcast covering all things minor league baseball. Get a front row seat to the action with everything you need to know about the future stars of Major League Baseball. And now, here's your host, Chris Clegg.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Dynasty Dugout Show. It is Wednesday, April the 9th, and we're going to talk baseball. We're going to cover everything you need to know from the minor league action yesterday. I was at a game last night. We'll talk about everything else that's important, and we'll hit on some major leaguers as well because we're here to talk about all pro baseball. So before we get into it, you know the usual. The episode is brought to you by Connect Roasters. That's Ian Happ's coffee company. I've got my cup right here. Got my Gold Glove blend brewed, cold brew style, smooth as can be, and plenty to like. Go to connectroasters.com. Buy one, get one 50% off a bag of coffee. That's a pretty good deal. That's hard to beat. Go get that using the code Dynasty Dugout or the link in the description. We're also proud to be working with Chinook Seedery, the best sunflower seeds in the game. They've got a wide variety of flavors that you'll love. Go and check them out today. Get 10% off your order at chinookseedery.com using the code Dynasty Dugout or the link in the description. All right, let's dive right into it. Off the top, I do want to talk about what I saw last night. Anytime I go to a game, I'm going to hit on that. Like, I want to talk about the live looks that I got because those are important. Now, I try to watch other games too, even when I'm at games. So, like, I got home, I watched Will Watson start, I watched some other things. We'll talk about that. But live looks in Columbia, single A action, the Fireflies and the River Dogs. That is the Royals, Rays, single A. We had a good pitching matchup. Janzen Keisel pitched for the River Dogs. Last year draftee, and Blake Wolters, who was a prep draftee in 2023, I think 44th overall, if I am not mistaken. And Janzen Keisel, he was drafted in the 6th round last year out of Oklahoma State. So let's talk about those guys. Right off the top with Janzen Keisel, it's an interesting mix. First inning, he threw nothing but fastballs. Now, he throws a couple variations of the fastball. You can probably see it if you're watching the video, but there are several variations here of a four-seam and a two-seam. He even throws a cutter. The four-seam worked 93-ish, 93, 94. He did clip 195 in the start. He did go 5 innings. I think that was the deepest he's gone in his pro. It was his pro debut, technically. So you would have to go back. I would have to look at all the game logs, Oklahoma State, but he threw just 34 innings last year at OK State. So that's interesting. He's got to build up innings, but he did taper a little bit towards the end of the start, but four-seam 93, 94, 195. The sinker was 92, 93. They dipped about 1 mile an hour by the 4th or 5th inning. The cutter was at 89. Keisel threw a couple of changeups, mid-80s. It was a good look. I mean, they had some good fade to him against left-handed batters, had a really good look to it. He threw some sliders as well. And to my eye, there was 2 variations of the slider as well. One that's more sweeper-esque, like with long horizontal glove side movement. And then a more traditional slider. It worked in the 84 to 86 range. So he was interesting. The command did go. Like, command went by the 5th inning. He walked a few batters. But the bat missing stuff was there. I know he only struck out 1 batter. So if you're looking at the box score, you're probably like, what is this guy talking about? But he did miss bats, and he did show the ability to, like, have the pitches to do so. So Janzen Keisel, let's fill that out for you. It is a funky spelling, Janzen, and then Keisel is Keisel. So that's Janzen Keisel, Tampa Bay Rays, 6th-round pick last summer out of Oklahoma State. Then we had Blake Wolters, who threw. I saw Blake Wolters pitch a lot last year. He's a fascinating arm. He was very hyped out of the draft, and honestly, he struggled last year. I saw some good and some bad from him last year. He threw just 55 innings. They put him on the dev list, and so he didn't finish the year in single A. He walked too many batters. He allowed a lot of hits. He had a whip near 1.5, so that was obviously notable, and he didn't miss a lot of bats. But last night, he looked different. Fastball worked in a similar range. It was 93 to 95 pretty consistently, closer to 95 most of the time. So the fastball is kind of where it was. It's got good shape to it. There's some good characteristics on that pitch that I like, but his changeup was the most notable thing that was improved. Last year, he didn't throw the changeup often. I think he threw the changeup around 10%. It was pretty firm at 90 miles an hour. And last night, the changeup's at 87 to 88. It had more movement than it previously did. It looked significantly better to me. I thought that pitch was much improved, and he threw a good slider in the mid-80s as well. He missed bats. He had plenty of whiffs on the start. He struck out 5 across 5 innings of work. Now, Wolters did walk 3, and he had just 1 hit allowed. He took a no-hitter into the 5th inning, so that was notable. But he did allow those 3 walks, so he did allow some base runners. There was just some at-bats that they weren't so competitive. He missed with a fastball at times, but overall, I thought Wolters looked much improved. And so that was a big thing for me to take away. It's like, okay, I really like what Blake Wolters is doing. And so he really looked the part. The Fireflies only threw 2 pitchers. Jordan Woods, a lefty, piggybacked. And I like Woods. This is somebody I was looking forward to seeing. He is a 21-year-old, undrafted free agent in 2022 out of Canada. Didn't pitch much. He got hurt after the draft. Last year, he went to the complex, 31 innings, and the results weren't great, but the stuff under the hood was better. But he pitched last night, and he came and piggybacked, and he looked really, really good. I was impressed in his 4 innings that he threw. 1 hit, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. He generated a lot of whiffs. The interesting thing with Woods is the velocity's not there. This is not what I expected, because this is down from last year, if I'm not mistaken. I do want to pull the data to see, but he was sitting 88 to 90 on the fastball. So it is, he's still young. He hasn't pitched a lot, so you wonder, like, he's 6'3", 180. Does he tick up? It's possible, but from the left side, like, it's good shape. It's a very smooth delivery. Like, he repeats extremely well. If you're watching the video, you can see that. But the changeup's pretty devastating. The changeup worked like 83, 84. It's got really good arm side fade. I like it a lot. He sells it. It plays off the fastball really well. And that's what he missed bats on. And there's also a slider curveball. I'll say it's a curveball. It was 73 to 77. It's got some pretty big 2-plane break on it, and it's pretty fascinating. I think Jordan Woods could be interesting. It's just a matter of, does Jordan Woods add velocity? Because this is a pretty interesting arm. It's just 88 to 90 is not going to work. Like, you've seen that with one of their former top prospects, Frank Mazzucato, who they drafted very high. He lives at 88, 89, and it just doesn't work no matter how good his curveball is. So Woods is going to have to tick up, but an interesting undrafted free agent find by the Royals. This guy is really, really fascinating. So Jordan Woods, interesting arm there. Some of the bats that stood out, and there was not much going for Charleston, let's be honest. They had 2 hits on the night. It just wasn't a great showing from any of their hitters, so it was hard to get a good read on any of their bats, but I'll see them again, so we'll be able to form better opinions. From the Royals side of things in Columbia, Hung Chem is a catcher in the organization. I saw him a lot last year. He had a good game. He collected 2 hits, drove in 3 of the 4 runs that the Fireflies scored. He's short, kind of stocky. It's an interesting build with some. At times he runs streaks where he has a lot of contact. Sometimes he struggles to make contact, but it's a fascinating profile. And he's got a great story, by the way. Like, I don't have time to go into it all, but go look him up. That's Hun Chung So Hyunchang, and the last name is A couple other guys, Ramon Ramirez. That was my first look at him. I love that bat, by the way. Ramon's got a really potent bat. He's got impressive contact skills, approach, and power. He went 0 for 4 on the night, but it was good to kind of get a look at his swing, look at the frame. It's definitely full of power. But the notable hitter to me is Stone Russell. He's the one that stood out most to me last night. So Russell was a 2023 draftee, prep draftee at that, 18th round out of IMG Academy. Now, that's a really big high school that's all for sports. You know, there's a lot of big names that go there. James Wood went there. Elijah Green went there. They pump out football stars year over year. But Stone Russell, not heralded at all, he showed a lot of good things. Now, it's fascinating because last year he played mostly at the complex, and they sent him up to Double-A at one point during the year, and he even got some reps in Triple-A. So he got some good experience, but he was at the complex for the majority of the year. I think that's worth noting. At the complex, slash 260, 352, 357. with 2 home runs, 7 doubles, 34 strikeouts, and 154 plate appearances. Russell's off to a good start early. He has a homer and a double so far, 5 hits and 11 at bats. He had 2 hits last night. He's got a good frame. Like, that stood out to me. Like, he's listed 6'1", 200. I'd bet he's taller than 6'1" at this point, but it's a good athletic build. There's a good feel to hit there. He was spraying line drives all over the field. So Russell is interesting. I looked at him and I was like, okay, like there's certainly something to like here in this profile. So yeah, I'm putting Stone Russell on the watch list. Like, prep guy, maybe a little slower development, but again, like, he's only 20 years old, if I'm not mistaken, still. And in single A now, like, he's appropriate age to level. So really good look from him. All right, let's recap some of the other minor league action that you need to know. The Carolina Mudcats went off. The Brewers single A team, they're loaded with talent. No surprise. The Brewers are always loaded, but they've got Jesus Mate, who didn't even play. By the way, he's out. He rolled his ankle last week. He should be back this week. They're taking it slow. He's day to day. He's fine. I'm not worried about that. But Eric Bitonti, big game from him. He reached base 6 times, had 2 singles, 3 doubles, and a walk. Bitonti smoked line drives the whole game, and this is somebody that has big-time power. He's got 30 home run power in that bat for sure. He's yet to hit a home run this year. I'd bet on Bitonti getting on that home run board pretty soon. Some of the other ones I want to hit on from that team, Braylon Payne. I mean, we've talked about him several times. Payne's legit. I mean, he's got 80 grade speed. He's got really good contact skills. He has an 86% contact rate in the early going. That stands out. His home run last Friday night was 103 off the bat, and he had already hit 110 in his pro debut. So those are some pretty notable numbers for kind of a slappy ground ball type hitter. If Payne can lift the ball enough, he's going to take off. So watching Braylon Payne very closely here, and we'll see what happens. The final Mudcat to hit on, there was lots. We could have gone through that whole lineup, but Josh Adamczewski, he's fascinating. He had a great day as well, and he's had a good season. He's made a lot of noise. He was good last year at the complex before his promotion to single A. He had a 4-hit day, all singles, but 3 straight days of multi-hit performances. The early returns look really good on his contact rates. He's lifting the ball much more. Last year, he had a 52% ground ball rate. This year, it's 18%. Yes, it's a 4-game sample, but watch this video. He's made a couple tweaks in his swing, and you might look at it and say, like, I don't really see the tweaks, but it's subtle. His hands are in a much better spot during his load and when the start of the swing. And he looks stronger. Like, he looks physically bigger here in this video if you're watching it. So, I don't know. I mean, the VBA looks good, vertical bat angle. Like, I kind of think that there could be something here. We know the contact skills are good. The power is the question mark, but look at him. I think he looks pretty solid right now. So I'm watching this one pretty closely. That's Josh Adamczewski. Josh, and then it's Adamczewski. So an interesting pronunciation there. So those were some of the hitters from the Mudcats. Other hitters that stood out, Chase Davis. He homered twice. Talk about swing changes. He's the king of swing changes. Made like 3 swing changes last year. Hopefully he settled in on something. He's looked good. He's making a lot of contact. He's hitting the ball hard. Davis was a college bat out of Arizona that had a lot of intrigue that he didn't really materialize it yet. Right out of the draft, he struggled. People was like, oh, he can't hit with wood. Last year had some ups and downs, but he looks good so far this year. He's in Double-A. Watch out for Chase Davis. Logan Wagner, that's a name that you should probably know. Dodgers organization. I saw him play in high school. He's from Lexington, South Carolina, or he went to P27 in Lexington. That's just like another one of those schools like IMG that's just sports. You go there and you play sports. He was 6th-round draftee by the Dodgers in 2022 out of high school. Last year, he was in the start of a breakout. He got hurt, had just 164 plate appearances, never materialized it. Had a slow opening weekend, but he hammered a home run last night. And he had 2 singles, so 3-hit day. It's tough to hit in the Midwest League, high A right now, this time of year when it's so cold. But Wagner looks the part. So I am very excited to see what he can do. So he could just pop off. You can watch this video here. He's got a good swing. It's easy pop. Very, very excited. Joe Mack, the Marlins, he homered. Why is that notable? Because Joe Mack is the future catcher of the Marlins. Everybody says it's Agustin Ramirez, and it may be for this year. Like Mack's in Double-A, he's 22, but Mack is one of those rare prep catchers that might just pan out. He was drafted first round, I think back in 2022, if I'm not mistaken, and he's just slowly developed. Last year, he was one of the best hitters in the pitcher-friendly Southern League, had 24 homers, 30 doubles, 137 WRC plus. He had a 9th percentile EV of 104 last year. It's pull the ball often, get it in the air a lot. He's back in Double-A for now. My guess and read on it is the Marlins call up Agustin Ramirez soon, and then Joe Mack goes to Triple. Like, I think that's just a matter of time at this point. He had a 3-strikeout day on Saturday. That was Joe Mack, and he bounced back, had a 3-hit performance with a homer and a stolen base on Tuesday. So 3 games into the season, but it looks good so far for Mack. Felnin Celesten looked really good. He making himself at home in Single-A. He had 3 hits and a big homer. Cash Mayfield did strike him out in the first inning, but he bounced back. He had a 4th inning home run, and he looked good. You know, he was limited in 2024 to just 144 plate appearances, but for how young Celesten is, he's 19 in Single-A. He was 18 at the complex last year. He's bigger than his listed 6'1". He has power. He had a 104 90th percentile last year. Good approach, good contact skills. Celesten just has to lift the ball. He had the ball on the ground way too much last year. Austin Overn homered. This is somebody I talked about extensively in spring training. I saw him on the backfields 3 different games, and in spring breakout, he was really good. He has speed. He's an impressive athlete. He's good in the field. He makes contact. There's a good approach. And I think there's sneaky power, and Overn showed that as he had his 2nd home run of the year on Tuesday night. 2 homers, 2 stolen bases so far. Like, he looks like a 2020 type guy. He's got the frame that you want to dream on. I think Austin Overn is a dude. I was talking with Jeff Ponce last night about Overn, and I was like, is it bold to say that Overn is better than Dylan Beavers? And Jeff said no, because he's not the biggest fan of Beavers, but I think that Overn's like already a top 10 prospect in that system. I need to update my Orioles system rankings. Overn's definitely a dude, and he's going to really get some buzz and move up from me. I said it in the Discord last night. This is a future top 100 prospect, Austin Overn. Connor Griffin has not done much so far, but he's hit the ball hard. Griffin, multiple balls over 110 at this point. He had a single last night at 114.2 miles an hour. He's 18 years old, guys. He's in Single-A. Yeah, the contact numbers aren't great, but remember, 18 years old, Single-A. Let's talk a little pitchers. Will Watson. This was an arm I had to watch. He dominated. Great start by him. 4.1 innings, 0 hits, 0 walks, 7 strikeouts. He did allow 1 run to cross. There was an error on the first at bat of the game, and there was another error on the 3rd at bat of the game. And so a run did score, but there was no earned runs and no hits allowed by Watson. The pitch data is fascinating. Struck out 7, 9 whiffs only, but I think the stuff suggested better than those 9 whiffs. Fastball averaged near 95. He touched 21 inches of vert on that fastball, averaged around 18 from a 5-1 release height. That's outlier fastball traits. And some of the fastballs classified as sinkers, but they still had IVB, just more horizontal movement. Maybe it was a running 4-seamer. Not sure. It had no sink action. Those sinkers listed were like 16, 17 inches of vert with like 17 inches of run, though. So he threw a cutter at 90 miles an hour, high carry, few inches of horizontal. Changeup was devastating, though. If you're watching this, he had a couple strikeouts on the changeup. It was 85 to 89, late depth, 22 inches of fade. That's nuts. And there was a breaking ball, too, a mid-80s slider with high spin rates up to 2,600 RPM. Anywhere between 4 and 11 inches of glove side movement, which tells me that Watson can manipulate 2 sliders. He threw strikes at a 64% clip. He's a good athlete. This is a 7th rounder last year out of Southern California. Mets are good pitch dev. So I'm very interested in what Will Watson did. That's Will Watson, New York Mets prospect. Bubba Chandler dominated. Surprise, surprise. He had 76% strike rate. People were freaking out his last start because he had a low strike rate and he walked guys. It was pouring rain in his first start of the year. So naturally, like, he wasn't throwing strikes in the rain. 76% strike rate, 12 whiffs on 39 swings, 15 more called strikes, 44% CSW. Fastball averaged 98.6 miles an hour. He touched 100 miles an hour with 19 inches of vert and 10 or more inches of arm side run. He touched 22 inches of vert twice. And from his 5'8" release height, that's absurd stuff. We know Bubba Chandler has one of the best fastballs in the minors. It's just a matter of time before he's in the majors. Changeup was good. It averaged 17 inches of arm side fade, and his slider was sharp as well. Great work by Bubba. I think you'll see him in the majors very, very soon. Another known name, not as popular, but Noah Cameron looked really good. He had a great start. He had 6 scoreless innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. Had an impressive 14 whiffs for a 40% whiff rate on the start, 37% CSW. What's notable about Noah Cameron is now we're looking at 3 straight years of fastball velo improvements. 2023, Noah Cameron set 91 miles an hour. Last season, he averaged 92.3. And this year, he's averaging close to 94. That'll absolutely play. So look at Noah Cameron. He's 25 years old in AAA. He's got one of the better changeups in the minors. Curveball is good. I think you're going to see him pitching in the Royals rotation pretty soon. Give me all the Noah Cameron. Big fan. Not enough love there. Let's talk 2 unheralded guys before we get out of here. First one, Hunter Dryden, San Francisco Giants. I'm like, who is this guy? Yeah, it's a great question. Well, Hunter Dryden, 17th round pick last year out of Division III Whitworth University. He was a 2-way player there, and he's a great athlete. He's smaller frame, but really good athlete. He made notable jumps last year. Like, he averaged like 90 miles an hour in college last year, fastball. He goes to the MLB Draft League, and he jumped up. He was like 94 in the MLB Draft League. This offseason, he ticked up even more. Like, he was sitting mid-90s in the start yesterday, and he was touching like 97. It's really good stuff. He's touched, I think, 98 in the spring. It's really good vert. It's a very flat vertical approach angle, low release point, obviously from the shorter frame. It's a really good fastball. He mixes in a 2-plane curveball. Those 2 pitches are going to be really hard for single-A hitters to catch up to. I mean, he's 5'11", 170, but he's a good athlete. He repeats well. Hunter Dryden looks like a guy. That's Dryden, Hunter Dryden, 17th rounder, Whitworth University. Shout out to them. Division III, Hunter Dryden. All right, final one is Jerming Rosario. Rosario is one of the more impressive arms that I saw in the Arizona Fall League. Maybe you say that's crazy, but he was. And I said that at the time. He had a great start yesterday, struck out 7 across 5 scoreless innings. He allowed 2 hits. He didn't issue a walk, and he landed 73% of his pitches for strikes. 12 whiffs, had a 38% CSW. Rosario pounds the fastball like 93 to 96. He has a slider that sits in the mid-80s, a curveball in the 76 to 79 range, and a changeup in the 84 to 87 range. The Dodgers' pitch dev is good. If you hadn't learned that yet, they're really good at developing pitchers. He's another success story. Jerming Rosario is 22 in AA. He's going to be a guy. So that's Jerming Rosario, right-handed pitcher, 22 in AA, Los Angeles Dodgers. We'll hit on some MLB notables as well. Cole Reagan's dominated. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned, 0 walks, 11 Ks. Framber Valdez, 6 innings, 2 hits, 0 earned, 1 walk, 8 Ks. Easton Lucas. Who is Easton Lucas? Yeah, exactly. Blue Jays come up and dominated. 5 and a third, 3 hits, 0 earned, 1 walk, 8 Ks. The question I've got is Easton Lucas legit? I don't know. The stuff's not great. I think the stuff's below average. He's got good command. He's got decent enough traits to make it work for the 91, 92 range that he throws. Easton Lucas, I don't know. I'm not like all out to get him. Shane Smith looked good again. 6 innings, 2 hits, 0 earned, 1 walk, 6 Ks. Clay Holmes is all over the place. 5 and a third, 5 hits, 4 earned, 3 walks, 10 strikeouts. James Wood, 2 home runs, 3 hits, 5 RBIs, 106 off the bat on one, 111.2 on the other. JJ Bleday homered and had 2 hits. Dansby Swanson homered, 2 hits. Pete Alonso homered, 2 hits. Sean Murphy homered in his return to the Braves lineup. Kyle Schwarber, 116.7 MPH home run. Wild stuff. So those were the notable MLB guys. Don't want to go in depth on them. You know those guys. But that's going to do it. That's been the Wednesday edition of the Dynasty Dugout Show. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.